Yo, it's good, y'all. I hope y'all are having a blessed day today. It's your boy King David. Y'all, it's been a little second since we posted on the channel. As y'all may know, we're actually in between season 5 and season 6 of the podcast, and we've been busy lately. Actually, we all see the title of the video. We just moved into a house. I just bought my own first house for the very first time 2 weeks ago. And so today I just want to talk about that story because, it taught me faith and humility during the process of closing. And it was a really crazy nightmare situation that happened. So 2 weeks ago, closed on a Friday, 9 a.m. The day before, it's Thursday at noon. This is where we're doing the final walkthrough. If you don't know, the final walkthrough is the last time you walk through a house before you buy it to make sure everything looks good. That, okay, this is the condition I'm going to buy the house in. If you have any last words, any last remarks, now is your time to do it, or forever hold your peace. So we go to the final walkthrough, and usually what you expect is like, it's empty, maybe swept up. If you're lucky, maybe have some counters wiped down. Nothing too crazy. Sure, the paint, whatnot. Yo, I walked into a nightmare. We walked into the home Thursday at noon, and this man, the seller, his stuff was all over the house still. Like he was still living there. I'm talking closets filled. I'm talking living room filled. Backyard, you'll see I got a little backyard now. Backyard filled with stuff. Garage, even more filled with stuff. It was insane. I would put a video of it on this video, but I don't really want to show what house I'm living in, for privacy reasons. But y'all have to take my word on it. It was mind blowing. It was an absolute nightmare to walk in on. And so, you're sitting there in complete disaster and complete disappointment. But, so I'm talking to the agent, my real estate agent. She's telling me that she's going to hire a cleaning crew to come in and clean. I'm like, okay, so that's good. And she's telling me that the seller said he's going to get a group of Hispanics to come together and they're going to move everything out. Like, okay, okay, all right. So you're looking at a disaster. And like, okay, well, if he gets all of his stuff out and she gets this cleaning person to come in, then theoretically everything should be good. So, okay, let's bank on that, So go home, go to sleep. And, that night I was kind of wrestling with God a little bit. And I was in a situation to where, I was telling God, like, you know what? I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to stress. I'm going to put this in your hands, Lord. And I was saying that and I was meaning it. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I was also still thinking, what if I show up tomorrow and this dude's stuff is still in there? Like, what do you do? And so went to bed. Next morning, I got up. Closing's at 9. I get to the house about 8:15. Lo and behold, this man's stuff was still there. Now, granted, I'd say he got about 70% of his stuff out. So the remaining 30, it was still a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie. It was still a situation to where you can't move into that, So I show up to the house and he's not there. His neighbor's there. I knock on the door. His neighbor answers the door. She has these 2 dogs, and she's telling me she rescued them the day before. And I'm in his house, and she's just packing stuff in trash bags, just doing her best. And, you could look at it and you could tell, no matter how hard she works right here, this house is not going to be straight. Even if a second person came in, this house is not going to be straight, And so that's the situation I walk into. Not long after that, the seller himself shows up, his agent shows up. And so the first person I call is my real estate agent. I tell her, like, hey, like, his stuff is still here. I can't close on this. Like, I can't buy a house like this, because it's a principle, that, okay, well, obviously you're not going to buy a house that the person's stuff is still in it. And that's kind of like one of the basic agreements is that you're going to take your stuff out, And she's telling me, well, I got the cleaning people, and they said that if I reschedule or I cancel, then they're going to charge me double. So she's just concerned about the cleaning people. And you know what? That's fine. I get it. I understand it's a lot of money. I understand that. But that was basically her only concern. And so I felt alone. I'm not going to fault her on it. That's reasonable. She tells me she's driving to the title place. I'm like, okay, all right. My mind, I'm on my own here. So I'm on the phone with the title people. I'm talking to his real estate agent, the seller. And, I'm contemplating the idea of pushing it back, later that day, maybe on the Saturday or the following Sunday, And I got to a moment where I was tested. I'm in the front, the seller and one of his buddies, they're going back and forth, in and out the house, moving stuff frantically. I'm talking to his agent about rescheduling, and the seller says, well, I'm about to go out of town later today, which I don't even know if that was true at this point. But he said, I'm going out of town, so if we can't close today, then we got to close 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now? Oh, no, no, sir, that's going to throw everything back, because I had me and my best friend and some of our friends, we had made plans. We had plans to clean and to move stuff in the house, to get the U-Haul on the Sunday, and we had all these plans, a schedule of how we're doing this stuff. And mind you, the house we're in, everything's like boxed up. We're ready to get out of there, And so I'm in this disastrous situation. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. Do we close today, this morning, or do we wait? And in my mind, I'm thinking, is waiting going to make it any better? And so while this is going on, at one point, the seller, he walks by and says, y'all are really making a big deal over just a couple of things. If y'all seen this house, y'all would know it was not a couple of things. I had perfectly good reason to be upset or worried or stressed or whatever word you want to use. In that moment, you think to yourself, your pride kind of comes in. He doesn't have the right to say that. And you think, am I really going to let him get away with saying that? But I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? It's hot outside. He's moving stuff. He's sweating. He's probably stressed out too. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it slide. I'm not gonna, because I get it. We're all stressed out here. No one's having a good time right now. And so I just let it go. And shortly after that, I made the decision. With the mountain of the world on my shoulders, I decided we're gonna close today. So I told him, hey, your name, let's do it. Let's close today, man. And so him and his agent were happy. So 30 minutes later, probably more like 20 minutes later at this point, go to the title place, closed. It was very stressful, not because of the closing itself. Closing is actually pretty easy. You're just signing stuff, and at that point you already kind of know what you're getting yourself into, so it's nothing new. But it was stressful for all those other reasons, and then I'm also wondering too, oh, I forgot to say, excuse me, my agent, the cleaning people she hired, they were coming at 10 a.m. 9 a.m. is we're closing, 10 a.m. the cleaning people come, and apparently they said that if stuff is in the way, they're just going to clean around it. So now I'm worried, okay, are these people going to come and just clean half the house? So I have all this stuff just stressing me out. I felt very alone. We closed on the house, and even when we closed, I told him, I was like, hey, just say Alex, look, I'm trusting you, man. I'm trusting you. He's like, I got you. I'm going to do it. And before I continue on with the story, I want to just say this. Earlier at the house, I could have pressed them for that comment. I could have pressed them at multiple points. I could have pressed them the day before, but I didn't. I chose to keep the peace, and this is where the humility part of the story comes in. Because, you have to realize I'm depending on him to get his stuff out of here for me to go into this house. So I need his cooperation. I don't need him to like me, but I need him to not hate me. To not feel bitter towards me. Because if I get on this man's nerves and now he's feeling stubborn or bitter or whatever, and he doesn't move his stuff out, or he's not gonna be careful knocking doors or walls on his way out, you got to have some humility and some patience and understanding. And I'll tell y'all, it went a long way, and I was very happy that I chose that route and didn't get hostile with him. Because even after we closed, I was able to communicate with him about the house, about, utilities, different functions of the house and stuff. And we were able to have peace and array of peace through that stressful day, stressful 48 hours. So we go back around 1:30, because he said by 2 he should have everything done. We went back around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and he had basically everything. The cleaning lady was there. She was doing a great job. She was cleaning good. It was looking good, smelling good. The man had basically everything done. The vibes were good. I felt great. Went back to the house later that night. It was completely empty. It was clean. It was hallelujah. That's all I could say. Hallelujah, because it all came together. And, that's really the end of the story. The rest of the weekend went well. The Lord helped us with moving. It was a very efficient moving process. And I was able to sleep in the house Sunday night. And man, y'all, it was really a big moment of faith for me in my life. I'm not gonna lie, because this is a moment where, you hear walk by faith and not by sight. But when you're looking at it, when you're looking at a disastrous, horrific situation, and there's other layers of stress adding on to the situation, it's hard. It's not easy to have faith in that moment. It's not easy to be like, okay, I'm looking at a disaster, but God, you're just gonna fix everything. You're gonna make it work. It's not easy to do that. But I look back, and as horrible as it looked, God made it beautiful. He got everything to work out good. And that's really the moral of the story, is faith and humility. And about the humility, I just want to say, y'all, it's not good to burn bridges with people. It's one thing if they're really bad for you in your life and they're toxic and they're bringing your life down. That's a different situation. But it's not good to burn bridges with someone just because they catch an attitude or they're in the wrong and they don't really express that they're in the wrong. And, however they offend you, it's always best to keep the peace, And with the faith aspect, you just got to trust God, especially when you're in the will of God. I knew God wanted me in this house. He wouldn't have brought me through that whole process to get to the closing day to then change everything and start the process all over. I knew it was his will for me to be in this house, this home. And when you know that you're walking in God's will, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. It's like the Israelites when God was bringing to the promised land. They had giants there, probably 12, 14, 20 foot giants. And the people of Israel were like, hell no, we ain't going over there. But I believe the Lord used Joshua to lead the Israelites into that land, and they took them over, and they got the promised land. So anywho, y'all, I got to the promised land, and I thank the Lord. The giants are gone in Jesus' name. So I pray that this video touched y'all. I pray that if you're in a situation where your faith is being tested, that you just truly lean on the Lord and just make sure you're in his will, and it will all work itself out. I promise you. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So anywho, y'all, I pray this blessed y'all and encouraged y'all. And hallelujah. As y'all know, I love y'all. God bless y'all, and peace out.